Okay.
Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Paper Cut. We have our Fun Time Thursday, and I did forget to post.
Sarah here from the Paper Cut.
That's you, not me.
Sound check, yes. And vision too. So
Yeah.
okay. Oh. Okay, sound check. Double check. No. Anyways.
Hey, it wouldn't be Fun Time Thursday without that.
Yeah. It wouldn't be Fun Time Thursday without a few giggles. We can't hear you. You guys can hear us, and maybe you laugh at us, maybe you laugh with us. I don't know. But anyways, so we're here for Fun Time Thursday. We checked sound, we checked volume, or that you can see me. So we are good to go. So what do we have going on? Well, we have our crafters classroom. I was supposed to post that on Tuesday. I did not post that on Tuesday. And I was like, what am I going to do? So Becky, who works for us, and sometimes she joins us on Thursday nights too, she's like, well, everybody liked the glossy resist with the iron. So she's like, why don't you do some of those cards? So I was like, that's a good idea. So I was thinking I could pre-stamp the silhouette images, but then the problem is that Impression Obsession doesn't carry their red rubber anymore. So then I was trying to figure out a way around that. Well, they just had a release today, or yesterday, and they have some new like silhouette type dies. So that is what I am going to be doing for the Crafters Classroom, which is July 8th. It is going to be an assortment of the Glossy Resist cards, where we'll use some of the new Impression Obsession silhouette dies. So, and I'll die cut everything, of course, but you're going to do the backgrounds. So that will be coming. I am late, and because now I'm waiting for dies, because I was going to still like stamp them, but I didn't think that was very good if you guys didn't have access to the stamps after I used them. So I probably won't post that until Monday. But I also kind of was waiting because I had talked about doing an embossing folder Fun Time Thursday in July, and I am getting an account set up so I can order the embossing folders, straight myself without having to go through Valley Stamp and Scrap. So although Linda has a lot of them, and you can get some from her, but I wanted to set up an account just because I'm going to order some specifically for class. So I'm getting that set up, although I am going to probably use some from Alta New too, and Linda's going to help me out and order some of those for me. So that I wanted to wait until I could post that so you guys could order both of those at the same time. So I think that works better when I post them at the same time, because then you can just order them both at the same time and we don't have to worry about shipping and all that stuff. So let's go down to the table.
Okay, you're there.
Okay, so we are doing our Lifetime Milestone Cards. I don't have the wedding one because, again, I used it and I didn't redo it, so I'm going to be doing that one with you. But before we started these, I just wanted to show you another card that I finished up today. So for earlier in May, I did this card with these daisies. And this was kind of a design that my sister-in-law did, although she did it white on white. So today I did it with the white on white, and I like it much better. So I think I'm going to use this card as one of either the class cards for the warehouse sale or the make and take cards for the warehouse sale. So I just liked it. I wanted to show it to you because I like it much better with the white on white, and it's using the leather-like stock, and the background is the hammered. And then I did do some crystal accents or crystal lacquer on top of the middles of my flowers. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. That will be sometime warehouse sale week, either during class or for the make and take kit, which you can also order. So anyways, just thought I'd share.
Hey, Sarah, no one posted, so you're not late.
No one what?
No one posted, they said, so you're not late.
Oh, no one? Well, no, I think one person posted.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Mitra's out of the country, so she didn't post. So I'm late. It should have been on Tuesday. But then when I wasn't sure about what I was going to do, and then I wasn't sure about the stamps, and Mitra's on vacation, and she said I could use the discontinued stamps, but then I thought it's better if I just use something of hers that you can actually order. So anyways, these are some of the cards we're going to do today. We are going to start out with this card, which is the slider card. And this one has the most inking and all of that. The rest of them are more, assembly type cards. But this one actually has inking that you might get your fingers dirty or whatever. So we're going to start out with the graduation. So I'm going to put the other ones aside. Yeah, I haven't looked on the Crafters Classroom to see if anybody else posted. Yes, there are still kits left for tonight's class. They're still up there. So let's go through what we have first. You have your envelope, which you always have. This is one of the new Lesabo stocks. Oh, I did send my email today. So that you should have gotten. If you subscribe to our newsletters, I did send the recap email, and then it talked about the new stocks, the leather-like, the hammered, the new Bianco Pearl. This is one of the new Lesabo stocks that we made into a steno card. Normally we don't have them as steno cards. We did them as steno cards just for the class. So let's go through our supplies first. Should have a steno card. You should have the slider die cut. You should have and I still have my fingernails that I'm fighting with. You should have a black layer. You'd think I'd get used to them by now, but I am getting there. I like them. It feels nice to have actual fingernails. I mean, not actual fingernails, but fingernails. You have a piece of green. Now, I don't know why that piece is in here. Because I didn't... Oh, I know why this piece is in here. Forget it. We used it right down here at the bottom. You have the Sky's a Limit, which is used on the inside right here. So we're going to be brush blending on there. And then this piece is what pulls up. It's part of our slider. Now, I've had a lot of slider stuff on sale. Lately, we're not getting rid of the sliders. But most of the sliders were made in the basis stocks, which are discontinued. So we have to figure out what colors we're going to move forward with. And I need to even look online and see what colors I have online. Because right now we have them in stock in the white, black, and red. And then we might have just some miscellaneous ones left in the basis that I'm still trying to get rid of. So anyways, okay. Oh, Becky didn't seal these. She just folded them over. Or I think Wendy did these. Anyways, in your little packet, you should have both the grads, the guy and the girl. Because, if you're not sure who you're going to make it for, just leave that off for now. You have this black piece. You have the hats off flag. And the black flag that goes behind it. You have the word congratulations. And then you have a circle. So, and then you have this green piece again that we're going to have to cut later.
Again, I posted a link to YouTube.
Yeah, if you're ever having trouble where it's cutting in and out, go to YouTube. I think it's mostly on the group pages, but if you're having trouble, my mom posted the link to YouTube. You can always go there because it seems to stream better there. So we are going to start with, so this piece that pulls up, we're going to set that aside. We're going to start out with the Sky's a Limit and the slider die cut. So have those in front of you. And then we also need blue ink pad for the sky. You need green ink pads for the grass. And then you need a stencil. I'm not sure which blue I used. That one looks good. I should really write that stuff down. This one, okay, this one looks good too. So
Stephanie said they're still having trouble on Facebook, and thanks for being on both YouTube and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephanie, are you on the virtual class page, or are you on that paper cut main page? Just curious. So first of all, we are going to do the sky. We're going to do sky on this piece because we see that right through here. And then on our die cut piece. So this is our slider die cut. And we do sell the die also that just cuts the 3 sides, and it does the 3 scores. So this is where your slider, it's scored. So it's actually cut right here, and these are your 3 scores that I was talking about. You're going to do sky for sure from about, probably about, right about in here. For sure this score line right here, the middle one, up. Go maybe a tiny bit below that, and you'll overlap your sky and your grass. So we're going to start out, and I'm going to put my green aside just so I don't grab that by mistake. And you're going to do sky again from, and you're working on the side that is the indent. Okay, so that's the side that should be up. And you're working from this top edge down to, for sure, this score, maybe slightly below it, and then also on this piece that says the sky's the limit. So you're going to do your clouds, however you do clouds. So brush, or yeah, now I got blue all over. I usually do my blue off a little bit just so it's not so in your face blue. And since I just want to make sure this, you're not going to see the whole thing. You know, you're not going to see this very top of it. So I'm actually going to start there just to get my blue the way I want it. Oh, you know what? I'm working on the opposite side. That's why this did not feel right. So hang on 1 second. This is like the inner part of the cloud stencil, which I would be working upside down. So I don't know where my cloud stencil is. So yeah, that's what that does. If you're working on the inside of the cloud stencil, but there is the other side of the cloud stencil, this middle part. And okay, well, I'm going to do my clouds totally different tonight because I can't find I grabbed the wrong part of my cloud stencil.
Hey. Things can change always.
So yeah, the clouds are going to be a little bit different tonight. I don't know that I like it as much. I think I like the other side of the clouds better. And okay. I'm going to deal with it for right now, but I am going to go for just a second and see if I have another one. But yeah, that did not feel right for a minute, and that's because it wasn't. So, okay, well, that works.
Trust your gut, huh?
Yeah. Where did I put my cloud stencil? Sorry about this, guys. My cloud stencil has to be around here somewhere because I've used it recently. All right, Sarah. Hang on 1 second. I'm just going to look through all my stencils that are sitting here. All right. Well. Oh, there it is. It was buried.
It's because you were organizing things, Sarah.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the main part that I like to work off of better. And good thing that you don't see as much of that one, but I don't mind it. So keep going on your clouds. You guys might be done because you were probably way more organized than I was and had your cloud stencil just sitting there in front of you.
Yay for organization. Yeah, Barb.
And I had a brain fart and I grabbed the wrong part of the cloud stencil. But again, that's okay. Nobody's going to look at my card and say you used the wrong part of the cloud stencil. And if they do, they are off your card making list. Okay, so I have my clouds, and now let's go to, so the rest of it, like below this score, so below this score is green. So I am gonna, it doesn't really matter if you get it on the back right here, because that part folds up and it attaches. So you can leave that part down. And you're gonna go brush blend up, make it lighter, like this section right here above this one score, just have it as a very light green, because then we're gonna take our ink pad, and I'll just do it off to the side. But we're gonna take our ink pad, if you have a small ink pad, or if you wanna try it with a big one, and you're just gonna kind of, you know, do that to make it kind of look more grassy in there instead of just brush blended. That's kind of how I got this effect right there. So first I'm going to start with brush blending green.
I like that.
And this very bottom part right here, we end up covering up with the one piece of green that matches the actual scored card. So totally up to you. Again, you can start off the bottom, off this below this score right here, because this part gets folded up. So if you want to make sure it's, you know, not too dark, start down there, because you want it lighter up in this area. So
Yeah.
very light up in that top area, but then a little bit darker as you go down. So doesn't matter if it's back here, because that part you're going to attach. You just want it darker at the bottom, you know, kind of like this section that's right here between where it's cut and your score. That part, you know, you can have it a little bit darker, but when it's up here near the clouds, you just want it lighter, because you just don't want a stark difference there. Or maybe you do. It's your project. That's what I always say. It's your project. Do what you want. If you're like, Sarah, you're nuts, and I want to do this because it looks better, you do you. But then, yeah, definitely practice off to the side, just to make sure that you like this, because you don't have to do this if you don't want. But you can take like the side of your ink pad right here and just kind of, you know, do some, so it looks more like grass going up. So up to you. Again, start low, and you just want to do that kind of at this, you know, at this score and just a little bit above this score, because that score is right below this guy right here. So right at about this black line is this score. So right about here is that score, and that's where I have the grass going up. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because if it's perfect, what is it? It's Hallmark. And again,
Hallmark should be so lucky to have you ladies doing things for them.
but so this part down here is mostly going to get covered up. We're just giving it a little variation that looks more like random grassy type stuff above that score. Okay, so this right here is going to get covered up. Don't worry about that. I'm just going to show you, so you're going to see like that. See how we just have like the little grass going up right there? But down here, where you don't like how it looks, that's going to get covered up anyways. And that's why I had that extra piece of green in there, because you're actually going to cut a little piece of green that's going to go right here on this tape tab and down here. Okay, so we have that, and we have that. So now we're going to get to the actual slider part. Now my fingers are, I got to make sure they're semi-cleaned for doing the rest of it. So the slider, let's just pull this out and talk about it for a minute. For the slider, it folds in half right here. Okay, and so this kind of makes your little slider insert. When you're using the slider die, where it's just cutting your 3 sides and doing your scores, you don't need this back part right here. If you were doing just the die, you can just kind of do it on a postcard or a layering swatch, and this is just going to attach to your card. You're just going to see the card color through there. So, but with the slider insert, you get this whole part, and this ends up folding up like this. And so this is the inside of your slider is red. So right now, we're just going to go over here. We're going to fold this up. Right now, the inside of our card is white, okay, which is what I have this piece for. So let's just go ahead and I'm going to fold this part first, just because I've already started it. So our score that is closer to the top, and it's in our clouds, that folds up as a valley fold. And then our next one is down as a mountain, like that. And then we have a valley fold. So this is what I call our little, it kind of makes like a little tent. See that? It's like a little pup tent.
Mm-hmm.
And this slides up and down, up and down, up and down. So now if we open that up, like when it's slid up, we just see white. And normally you could stamp through there, but because you didn't have the stamps, that's why I made this piece that's actually going to attach inside there. So we're going to open it up, and I'm going to go back in case you're behind, and the fold is up like a valley, down like a mountain, up like a valley, and that forms our little pup tent, and this is the part that slides up and down. So right now, this piece that says the sky's the limit is gonna, I stamped these and I did not, sometimes I print my images, but these I actually stamped. So I tried to stamp them in the right spot. But if you just put it in there for now, lined up to your score, fold this piece up, and see if you slide your little pup tent up, you're gonna see the sky's the limit in there. And we know this piece is attaching over here, so you, depending on where I stamped it, if I stamped it too low, you can always raise it up a little bit. If I stamped it, way too high, say you can't push it up and you're not seeing it, you could always trim a little bit off that bottom. But I think I stamped them all fairly good, that you can line your edge up with the score. So if you check it and you can see slide your little pup tent up, you can see your sky's the limit, and it's up there, just to make sure you're going to have room when you put your congratulations on there, and this isn't going to interfere. Then we're going to go ahead and attach that on. So when you're using a colored one, it's always nice to use a piece that attaches on the inside, because with the colored one, you're going to see red through there. So it's always nice to have a piece of cardstock that's lighter that you can put inside there to stamp your words on. So yeah, if you're doing a black one, you almost for sure want to add this extra piece of cardstock. I did it just for convenience of, I needed to stamp it, and I didn't want to stamp them inside your slider die cuts in case I didn't have it positioned right. That's why I stamped it on an extra piece of cardstock that we're going to attach in there. So we're going to put tape on the back of this. We're going to attach it flush with your score, as long as you checked it to make sure that it's in the right position. And I just refilled my tape gun.
Oh, so I don't have to do it today.
Yeah, you don't have to do it tonight.
Sometimes.
Although my 1/4-inch one is probably needing tape if you have a burning desire to refill a tape gun.
you just want to have fun with me tonight.
So you are going to, if you checked your position, you want to do it centered left to right, and I'm going to line up the edge of my piece that says the sky's the limit flush with the score. Now don't put it over the score. You want it flush with the bottom of the score, but not over, because otherwise you're not going to be able to fold it. Okay, so I have that. I have my little pup tent. I think that's the pink gun, or was that the yellow gun?
I don't remember.
I'm not sure. Okay, let's open this up again. And this time, now we're going to turn it around. You're going to rotate it. So when you're looking at it, your belly is down here. You're looking at the sky's the limit upside down. And we are looking at, the inside white part, because on the other side is your green. You have, and I'm just going to bring my red one over here really quick. So you have your score, your 3 scores. Now this piece right here is a tape tab. Let me find my Sharpie. There it is. Okay. So on this tape tab, this is a tape tab right here. The longer piece of white that you have in your kit attaches to this tape tab. It ends up being flush with the top and then attaches down to the tape tab down below. So I'm going to do it on my practice one. I'm going to pull out my 1/4-inch tape gun, which is running out, and this might be the squeaky one. I'm going to put tape just on that tape tab. This is the squeaky one. So,
I might have to fill that.
yeah.
Okay.
So now I am going to line this up flush with this top edge. And you want to make sure it's centered left to right. And if you just want to watch first, I'm going to do it again on my real one. But I'm going flush to the top edge. And then it will attach to my tape tab. Now occasionally that white, you'll see a little hair of white right there. If you do, you can always take a scissors and trim that off. It doesn't really bother me. See, I was a hair below that top edge, and that's why I see a little bit of white right there. So I don't think it's a big deal. But then this is what pulls up and down. So our long white piece is attaching just to that tape tab right there. And then we're also going to take our circle and attach it to the back of right here and use a piece of Scotch tape to hold it down, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But let's move on to our actual one, which you guys may have already done. I'm going to put tape on my tape tab, which is just that bottom piece. And you can see I'm doing it kind of gingerly because I'm running out of tape.
Okay, I get the hint.
No, not yet. No,
Okay.
I've still got more.
Okay.
But this one is being persnickety. And actually, I don't need to use this one too much tonight. I just need a little bit of narrow adhesive. But yeah, my tape gun's being a weirdo. A weirdo. That's what that's what my daughter says about Ev sometimes.
Yeah.
A little weirdo. About the grandbaby when he's eating and stuff. Weirdo.
I love it that she calls him weirdo. It's so good to be weird.
Now I'm really screwing this one up. Okay.
There's only one person watching on the virtual class page. That's me. Everybody gave up on
Everybody
it, I think.
gave up on the
Yep.
virtual class. So anyways, you have your long piece. Line up flush to this top edge right here. Make sure you're centered right to left. And then you're going to attach it. So you have just a little bit of space. Now, because I did say that you needed, I'm looking for my yellow Sharpie. Hang on.
You had it.
Do I? No, that's the...
Oh, that's glue. Yeah. Oh, I see it. Hold on.
Do you see it? It's behind a bunch of my stuff.
Is it this one?
Yep. Okay. So right here, this is why you need a narrow piece of adhesive, or a narrow adhesive for this next part, because you don't want your adhesive to interfere with this. So this slides up and down, and as it slides, you don't want your adhesive to adhere. So we do need narrow adhesive here. But before we get it all attached together, let's pull out our black circle. You're going to attach this to the back of here. Don't attach it really high. It's kind of like the magic card where if you attach it too high, it's not going to fit in the envelope. So you want to go less than half. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on there, But also have your Scotch tape out. And this is just to help so it slides nicely. So I put my adhesive on there and I'm going to attach it, and it's attaching to this white piece that we just attached, a little bit less than half. But we're going to put a piece of Scotch tape on there just to cover that up, because I'll show you on this one. I have Scotch tape there because then when it slides in and out, it doesn't get stuck. So the Scotch tape kind of helps where the lip of this circle doesn't get stuck as it's sliding in and out. So the Scotch tape is in essence on the back. You don't have to worry about it, but it's just so it doesn't get stuck. If you don't have Scotch tape on there, sometimes it gets stuck on the lip of that circle. So that's why we put that on there. Now, we are going to close this up. You're going to put narrow adhesive, 1/4 inch is best. If you have the 3/8, that's fine too. And you want to keep it closer to the edge. You want it closer to the edge than the middle, because you don't want, as it slides up and down, you don't want it to interfere with that adhesive. So let's see if I can get my tape gun to work. Okay. I do have multiple tape guns, but this is the one I had in here, and I might be replacing it. So just up and down the sides, as close to the side as possible. And if you have any tape hanging like off the edge, you want to kind of roll that in, because you don't want it hanging off the edge either, but you do want it, you know, closer to the side than where it's going up and down. Like right here, I have it a little bit too close, and I'm just going to roll that out towards the side, just so I don't have any interference when this is pulling up and down. And then we're just going to fold that in half, and this part right here is going to attach. So my tape is right here, and it's going to end up attaching right here. Now some people say, do I need adhesive down here? Not really, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to show you why in just a minute. But we're just going to fold that in half. And that kind of makes our little slider insert. So you could do this like on a scrapbook page if you wanted to, as long as you don't have it in a page protector, you know, that it could be pulled up and down. But so inside here, if you have like a credit card or something, which I don't have one with me, but while it's in this up position, like you can slide, not a credit card, but like a gift card, you could slide a gift card in there. I'm just going to show this with the piece of cardstock that I have. So that's about the size of a gift card. You slide it in there, and then when you're sliding it down, you might have to lift it up just to get this past the lift of the lip of the gift card. And then when they open it, then they have the gift card that they can pull out, and then there's a little message on the inside. So I like doing that with sliders, just because it's interactive, it's inside there. Okay, so now we have our other pieces. Let's bring all of our other pieces over. And we can, now this is just a kind of a small border right here. If you are like, I'm good without the border and you want to use this black for something else, totally up to you. But otherwise we're going to attach our slider die cut to our black piece, and then we are going to attach it to the front of the steno card. Now, did I cut this piece to the width of the black? Yep, I did. So we're good.
So somebody's asking, which card is this? Number 1, 2, or 3?
This is number 1.
Number 1, yep.
Yeah, we're on the first card. On the very first card, we're doing the longest one first. But now we're going to put adhesive on the back of our slider. Don't put it on your circle, because then you won't be able to pull it. It's going to stick it down. We're going to attach that to our black layer. Again, if you just are like, I'm good without the black layer, and you want to use the black for something else, you have at her. Because again, your project, your kit, you do you. Nope, you didn't miss very much. So
Glad
now
you made it, Merle.
Yep. We're going to put tape on the back of here and then just attach it to our steno card. Yeah, this is the longest one. And I usually talk a lot, so yeah, that happens. All right, so now we're gonna weed stuff. So you might have weeded already. Is it weeded? I think it's weeded.
Well, it couldn't be wed, could it? Yeah, weeded.
Weeded. I said you could do that as homework if you wanted to. I did not do mine. I'm doing all of mine during class. So if you did yours already, you're just going to kind of hang back and
Enjoy that glass of wine.
enjoy a glass of wine, some water,
Or margarita.
or a margarita. I should really get this out because my fingernails.
Oh, Shara's coming right after the 1st of July, Sarah.
What?
Shara's coming to the lake.
Oh, okay. That's a family friend that they live in Florida and they come up here every summer.
It's where you spent a lot of time in the summer
I spent a lot
when
of
you
time
were
there
a
in the
kiddo.
summer, yep, as a kid. And my mom and I were talking about that the other day, wondering if they were coming up. So
Yeah, I saw Julie today.
okay, yay.
Done weeding.
Well, kind of. I've got to punch out all the little snibblities.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like, whew, I'm still not used to my nails with this type of activity. Typing, I'm doing really good.
Yeah.
But little teeny things like this, not so much.
How are you on texting, Sarah, with those long fingernails?
I'm doing pretty good.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, I think I had trouble texting before the long fingernails because my little fat fingers would hit two letters at a time or the wrong letter.
Oh, man. I do that a lot.
So it can't get any worse. Except doing little weeding stuff is not the best. Especially when there's little tiny ones that are just stuck a tiny, tiny bit and you just need to pull a little corner of it to get it off. Okay. Phew. I had to take my sweatshirt off because I knew I'd be sweating when I was doing some of this stuff. Tedious stuff.
That is such a pretty shirt. I like that shirt.
Oh, I just got that at Kohl's. It was like $7.99. Okay, anyways, so let's go. You're going to pick a guy or the girl. I'm going to pick the girl because I do have 2 people that I still have to give graduation cards to, and this is going to be one of them. You know, last year I don't think I knew one person that graduated. This year it's 5.
Whew.
And I'm going to use the hat. There were 2 hats. And I don't, oh, here's one of them. I like the bigger hat, so I'm just going to put the little hat aside. So yeah, I'm going to use the girl and the hat. The hat's off. So this piece we're going to mount up with foam tape. So if you have any foam tape ready, you can go ahead and mount the hats off with foam tape. And then I'm going to use micro dot adhesive to attach my congratulations. And I am going to use foam tape behind my jumping grad, but we'll get to that in a minute because you don't want to put too much tape on your jumping grad, just because if you put tape too high on your jumping grad, like if you put tape above here, above the score, then you're going to tape your card shut. So just be careful on your jumping grad if you're ahead of me. And I did put a little bit of foam tape on the back of the hat also.
What was that? Did you hear that squeak?
Yeah, that's your chair. Your chair, when it turns a little bit, it squeaks.
Oh, okay.
That's you.
Oh, gosh. And I even have my hearing aids on. It's amazing.
Yes. You're funny.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. So, I had a friend who was 88, and we were talking about our oldest customer at the cafe when we had the cafe.
Uh-huh.
And he said, I'm not doing too bad for 88, am I? And I said, oh, you're just a youngster. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, my oldest customer is 103. And he said, does she still make sense? And I said, yeah. He said, oh, that's too bad because we're more fun when we don't. That's about the point I think I'm at.
Oh. So I did the congratulations on my microdot adhesive. And it is a rather thin, delicate one. So when you're pulling it off, just, be careful. And then I'm going to attach this to this black piece.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. We just have fun on Thursdays, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, I love Thursdays.
All right, so we've got our congratulations. Now, this piece I'm going to attach without foam tape. Better a squeaky chair than a squeaky mouse, that's for sure. That is for sure.
Well, could be. You never know where those squeaks come from.
Sometimes she probably thought it was coming from my tape gun.
I didn't know if it was the computer, Sarah. I was worried that it was the computer going like crazy.
Yeah, did I plug my computer in? Yes, I did.
Yes,
okay.
it is.
So the hats off goes, there's a score right here. So when you pull this kind of in its up position, you want to make sure that when you're attaching this hats off that it doesn't interfere with that. So it kind of goes halfway in between the top of the slider die cut and the score. And then our jumping grad, see, you're only going to put foam tape on the part of her body that's attaching right above this score. So I like to do it, this is what I call the up position, when you have your little pup tent, and then you can attach your die cut while it's in that position. Because if you do it while it's in the down position and you happen to put it over the top of this score, or you happen to put tape on the whole thing, you'll tape your card shut or you won't be able to open it down here. So I do like to do it when it's in the up position, just so I can, kind of see where I'm going to put my foam tape. So I'm going to start putting foam tape on there, and it's not going to be a lot of foam tape. I don't even think I'm going to put foam tape on her legs. Her legs are much narrower than like the guy's legs, so I'm going to leave her legs even without any foam tape. I have one piece of foam tape that's kind of hanging out. It's too wide. Let's cut that off. Okay. So you can look at the back, like if you have foam tape back there, you can look at the back of her just to make sure there's no foam tape sticking up beyond right here. Okay, so I'm going to pull the backing off, and I'm going to attach her on there. Now I didn't put her all the way down to the score. I put her a little bit above the score. Okay, now we do need this piece because we are going to put green right here. I can't remember if I put the size on the instructions, but you're going to cut a piece of green, and it's cut to the right width, so it's the longer portion, and you need it approximately 3/4 or a hair under 3/4 wide, because it's from the bottom right here, the slit, to the bottom of your slider die cut, which is 3/4 of an inch exactly. So you need a piece that's 3/4 of an inch. Our big trimmers don't cut that size really well, so that's why I kind of, sometimes on this cutting stuff, I let you guys cut some of it. Just because you need something to do, right?
1 to 3/4 by 4, and the other to
Yep, the 4 is already cut for you.
and 1 to 0.38 by 2 and a half.
Oh, okay. So we're cutting this piece to go right here. And then we also need a piece to cover up this, if you want to. If you're like, hey, I'm good with that, you don't need to cut that. But what size did you say it was, Mom?
The smaller one,
Yes,
0.38 by 2 and a half.
2 1/2. So it's almost at 2 1/2. Let's cut it down to 2 1/2. And then you need 3/8 of an inch. So it is pretty small. 3/8, 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. It just looks too narrow, but I guess I'm going to cut it a little wider. Okay, so that goes and it covers up just that grass part that didn't look super great. And you do have plenty of this, so if you cut it the wrong size, you can always recut it. So now I'm going to use my tape, and I'm just going to attach this piece right here, and the small green attaches right there on the bottom of that tape tab. And that's if you want. If you're like, hey, I'm good, then you don't need to do it. And this is not something that you would do, it's just card design. So if you're making another slider card, you don't necessarily need to do this part. It's just we had this grass going on right there. And if you didn't do the grass and you just brush blended, you might not need to do anything either. I just didn't like seeing some of the grass strokes. So now this one I'm just going to attach right here. And yeah, my tape gun is really going crazy right now.
Ooh,
That's okay.
okay.
I'm just going to deal.
Alrighty.
I can use my big tape gun, which I'm pretty good with, and I can just fold my tape over if it's sticking out. So again, yeah, you don't even need this piece if you don't want to. Okay. So now that slides down. Now our black piece, this piece, I am actually going to put it so the top edge is close to this top edge of the score, or of the green piece. So it's kind of covering this part up right there. But you're going to put foam tape on it, but you only put foam tape on the very ends. Okay? If you're attaching anything, if it's wider, if you're attaching a wider piece, you could put some at the bottom. This is not wide enough, so I'm just going to put foam tape on either end. So let's get my foam tape out. I'm going to put foam tape on either end, and that's just popping it up. Now, depending on what you all have going on here, sometimes you might want to do a double layer of foam tape. Like if this piece, is sticking down there further and you want to overlap it, then you could put double foam tape right here. So this piece that slides up and down doesn't intersect with that at all. So yeah, if I wanted something, if like this was popped up more, then I want double foam tape to make sure it doesn't, interfere. So, but we're not going to do that. So just foam tape on your ends. And the top edge is close to this score right here. Okay. sometimes you do things based on design. So you don't need to always double these up on the ends. It just depends on what you have on here, and if that's popped up and how high this piece goes up, then you would double foam tape that. But we don't have any interference, so we're good. We've got our first card done. Now I have a graduation card in case I know guy that's graduating next year. I have that done already. So we're going to set that
Or in
aside.
case Josh comes.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, yeah, my son's graduating. Or, yeah, in case Josh comes and he needs graduation cards for somebody.
Right.
But he's graduating next year. So I'll have to do a really special graduation card next year because he's graduating with his PhD next year.
Congratulations, Mom and Josh and Dad and everybody.
Yeah. So, yeah, next year. Next year, at some point, I might miss a Fun Time Thursday because I'll be in Iowa, or I'll be doing it from Iowa. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
We
Okay.
are not, he's going to tell us the right day this time, isn't he?
yeah. His,
Ahead of time.
Yeah. Yep. So, anyways, let's go on to our, what card do we want next?
What card do
Wedding
we...
card next. Oh, the wedding card is the one that I don't have the sample of.
Oh.
So, this one
You
I am
don't have
doing,
a sample of it.
I gave it to Leah.
Oh,
Leah needed a
that's-
wedding card for her wedding that she was
That's
going
right. Oh, yeah.
to. So yeah, this was the one I don't have a sample of. Because I used it already.
But you can all see what it looks like on your instruction sheet.
Right. Yeah. So, you should have a card, a layer of crystal diamond print glitter, and it's just a small border of the crystal diamond print. So if you are like, hey, I'm good, I don't need the crystal diamond print right there, and you just want to put the piece of silver right on the white, then you have a bonus piece of crystal diamond print. Don't attach it quite yet because we're going to wrap some of this twine around it. But you should have those 3 big pieces. Then you should have a piece of the pearl white Miri lava. This frame, so this is our scallop rectangle frame. Some wedding phrases. Happy wedding, congratulations, like if you want to do an anniversary or a baby shower. A bridal shower.
Yeah.
And then a piece of black because that's going to layer behind whichever word you pick. And then you have the groom and the bride. Now, I'm going to start out with doing glitter on here. And I think I forgot my glitter. Oh, no, I didn't.
Uh-oh.
I have glitter. Okay. So if you want to do glitter, do glitter. If you don't want to do glitter, then don't do glitter. But I'm going to do that first just so it has a little bit of time to dry while we're doing the rest of it. So I am just taking a glue pen and...
So don't worry about that. Don't look for the glitter and glee or gly.
Oh, did I have a misspelling?
Yeah, the glitter and glue.
Glitter and glue. So do whatever you want to do for glittering the dress. If you want to make it sparkly, it can sparkle. If you don't want to make it sparkly, doesn't have to sparkle.
If you have seed pearls and you want to glue those all on,
Oh yeah,
good luck.
if you want to do something else, seed pearls, that would be a lot. So do this part later then if you're doing like seed pearls, because that would be super pretty.
Oh man.
That's got to be for a really special bride.
We did that with the quilted card one time with the
Did you?
bride dress, yes. Oh man.
But it's pretty.
It is. It was very pretty, but I didn't teach it in a class because I wasn't having all those bouncy little pearlies around.
So I did that first just so I could make her dress sparkle. If you don't want a sparkly dress, don't do that part. I'm just setting it aside now. Putting my glitter. Some people are like, no glitter. Not getting glitter all over.
Don't you just hate it when you get a card and they have all those little pieces in it and sometimes little glittery stuff that falls out of your card? Oh,
Mhm.
man.
So we will go on to this part next. This is our Scallop Rectangle Frame Die set. So there's a bigger one, there's this one, and then I think there's like a tag type thing in the set. We are going to pop this up if you want to. So we're going to put foam tape on the back of our frame and then just attach our piece of pearl white Miri lava.
The grad dies are from Impression Obsessions, right? Sarah?
Yes, yes.
Sorry, I got wrapped up in what we were talking about and forgot all about the people that were online asking
The people
questions.
asking questions.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yep, the grad dies are from Impression Obsession.
Nancy Cloud answered that.
Thank you, Nancy,
Yeah.
for answering. Yep, sometimes we get caught up in
Goofy
talking.
stuff.
Goofy stuff, yeah. That's okay. That's what we're here. We're having fun. Now you might need to trim your foam tape narrower to do this. You might have foam tape left if you did the shaker cards on Saturday in the crafter's classroom. I gave you plenty of foam tape, so you might have foam tape left from that. I had foam tape left, but I was in here doing other stuff, so I think I used all my extra foam tape already. But yeah, this does need a little bit narrow foam tape. Yeah, Impression Obsession has some good graduation dies. Their grad throwing, I've used that a ton of times.
So those, I have been looking for them.
I think if you just type in grad,
Okay.
because there's grad walking, grad jumping,
Okay.
or maybe grad die will narrow it down a little bit
Yeah.
for you.
Yep. Oh.
Okay, so now we're going to take the backings off. This is going to attach to our pearl white lava. I'm just going to put it on here so you can see it a little bit better. But you can do it either way. You can take your backing off and attach it to the front, or you can take your backing off, turn it over, and attach it to the back. Just don't attach it face up to the back, because then when you turn it over, you won't have the pretty side. I'm going to do mine, I think, from the back, because then I can make sure that it's on, you know, centered in case my eyeballs aren't seeing correctly. All right. Okay, so I've got mine towards the back, but like I said, if you're going to do it where you're going to place it down like this, then you'll have your pearl white up. But if you're going to turn it over and do it from the back, then have your pearl white down. And you're just going to attach that on there. So we have that little frame. I call it my little frame. So we're just going to set that aside for a minute. For our card layers, again, if you're only seeing a little tiny bit of the crystal diamond print, and if you are like, hey, I don't need that, set that aside for something else. I'm going to attach it. So I'm going to put tape on the back of my silver piece. This is, I believe this is, I think this is white silver, or is this, which silver is this? I'm going to look.
What happened to that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the white silver cocktail. It says white silver cocktail metallic, but it is actually, if you keep your directions and you want to correct them, it says white silver cocktail metallic. This is actually the white silver curious metallic, which is one that will be discontinued just because the mill closed. So when we run out, this silver will be gone. But it is the white silver curious metallic. Your directions say cocktail metallic. Now, before we attach this to the front of the card, we're going to take our twine. We're going to wrap it around. I wrapped it 3 times and I tied it in a bow over here. So I kind of started with a longer end there, and then I just kind of wrapped it, and Becky kind of had it wrapped for you. Oh, and we have plenty. Actually, I think I cut mine today, so I'm going to give myself more because I think I cut mine too long. Okay, and then you're going to tie it into a bow. I've got too much. And if you're not a good bow tire, you can just tie it into a knot if you prefer. And I am usually a good bow tire, but with long fingernails, I don't know if I am.
Yeah, I couldn't even tie shoelaces, Sarah, with fingernails, so.
Yeah, this is interesting. Oh, geez. Okay, you guys are going to watch me struggle tying a bow. I'm concentrating. I'm probably like sticking my tongue out too. Good thing you can't see my face.
One more laughter. That's good. Hey, you're doing really great, Sarah. Look at that.
Trying. We'll see how loose it is by the time I'm done. Huh. Okay, I did it. And it's not too loose. But if it is too loose, you can always like pull it in on the back and then put some extra tape there. And like, because you're going to put tape on the back anyways. So yes, if you are too loose, just give it a pull from the back and you're going to put adhesive back there anyways. I'm not going to attach it yet because I just want to look at where you want enough room so you can put your words down here. So I'm going to lower that just a hair before it's attached. I'm just lowering it a tiny bit. And notice I didn't cut my tails off yet in case I screw something up. Okay, but I think I have it good. So now I am going to cut my tails off, or at least shorter. I think I had way longer than what you have because there wasn't an extra piece cut for class tonight, so I just cut a hunk. Okay, so now I'm going to put tape on the back and attach that to the card front. Again, if your twine is too loose, just kind of pull it in and put extra tape to hold it in place. And then you'll hold it in place, you know, you'll pull it in from both sides and that'll just tighten it up. So yeah, if it's loose, you can pull it in on both sides and put some tape over it, and then you can reinforce it with a little bit more tape, and then it'll be gappy in the back, but who cares what it looks like in the back because that's going to be attached. Okay, we'll attach that to our card front. Okay, our frame. I'm just going to kind of set that on there just to figure where it's going. Now we're going to pick whichever word we want. And I know Leah has 2 more weddings this summer, so I am going to do the happy wedding for mine because I know she will be asking me for another card. But the wedding she's going to, people are all related, so she might ask for a different card. I probably have one somewhere. Oh, I could use congratulations because then it could be used for wedding or shower.
Yeah.
Ooh, she might ask me for shower cards too.
Then we have to remember which one we gave her for.
Oh no, that's her responsibility.
Take a picture, Leah.
So, okay, now I'm just going to attach that on there. I didn't pop this up on here because I am going to pop it up so it goes over the twine nicely. I'm going to pop it up over the twine. So I am just going to put tape on the back of here. Yeah, I don't know if she's got to go to wedding showers for the other one. Oh yeah, I'm sure she does. So yeah, she's going to need 2 wedding shower cards and 2 more wedding cards.
That time of her life.
Oh, and Josh is going to need a wedding card too. He's standing up in a wedding.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm going to be busy making wedding cards this summer.
You're such a
I
good
had
mom.
grad cards and wedding cards. Okay. So now, if you want to cut like the extra congratulations and attach it to your black diamond, you can do that right away, and then it's just ready for your next card. All right. Now, I'm going to carefully put tape on the back of here and then attach that to my card front. I'm going to put foam tape on the back of my groom and on the back of my bridal dress to attach those. So let's do that right now. First, tape on the back of here, gently, because you don't want to push it in, because part of it's popped up around the outsides. So just be very kind of gingerly when you're attaching your tape on the back of here. If you push down too hard, you might push it in, you know, because it's attached with foam tape on the edges. Oh, and I guess we could have put the white piece down first and then the frame over the top of it. That might have been a smart thing to do. All right, always thinking. Maybe not when I'm supposed to be thinking, but...
This is called lunch and learn.
Yeah.
Or dinner and learn.
Okay. Foam tape on the back of the groom. Now, I put foam tape on the back of him, but I didn't put foam tape behind the hanger because the hanger kind of attaches to the frame. So. This time I actually did my foam tape ahead of time.
Well, that's nice.
I know I don't always do that.
Yeah.
I always say that I should do it, but I don't always do it. So this time I actually did it.
Sometimes you have a whole spool of it
Yeah,
sitting there
right.
ahead of time, even, you know.
Well, that's what I did tonight before we got on camera. I
Yeah.
was standing here cutting foam tape, so it was ready to go. So the groom I'm going to attach. And then the bride I'm going to put, I'm not sure if my glitter is dry. It should be pretty dry. So I'm just going to attach foam tape on the back of her dress. Then we'll put our words on, and then we'll be ready to go for this one too. Okay, here we go. So for when I do post the embossing folder class, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it as a paper only kit, but then I'm going to have the option where you can add on embossing folders. Or you can use your own embossing folders. So that's how that's going to work. And I am for sure getting, unless they're sold out, but they weren't earlier this week, but I am for sure getting that, the beveled diamonds that we used to demo last week. I don't know which other ones.
Nice.
And I might have more choices than 3. So, but I'm going to have 3 slots where you can pick 3 different ones to add. But there might be more choices. And I might put the extra ones on the accessory page. I'm not sure exactly, but you'll be able to order embossing folders for the exact cards I'm doing, or you can use your own. So I'm just going to trim up my... and I shouldn't futz with my twine now that it's attached, but I'm futzing with it a little. Okay, so there is our wedding card.
Is that a do as I say? And
Yeah,
then
not as I
do.
Right.
Nice.
All
Very
right.
nice. So that's 2 out of
4. We're going to go on to the baby card next. I'm going to grab a quick drink of water. All right.
Good thing we don't have those dogs here tonight. Boy, those dogs were silly today.
Yep, I had the puppies here. It was doggy daycare today at the paper cut. And that Charlie boy got into a little bit of trouble.
He's just a teenager. What do you...
Yeah. Okay, as we're weeding, let's talk. So, the baby picture. So you can get pictures off the internet. You know, you can do your own photos. Like if you have a cute baby picture, you could do that. You can get photos off the internet as long as they're not copyrighted. This one is copyrighted, but I did pay for it. So that's how I'm able to use it. But otherwise, you know, don't use ones that have like watermarks on them and stuff. And I didn't want to pick a baby photo with like a baby's picture on it. That's why I used kind of the photo that I did. And I did print that on our printable acetate. And I printed on the rough side. And this is our frame die. Congrats. Now this one does have congrats on your wedding. So this die could be used for wedding or for baby. So if you're like, I'm never going to need a baby card, and you want to do some type of, like even if you stamped a wedding image here, you could use on your wedding instead of a new baby. So this one could be used, you know, if you're like, nope, I've got 3 weddings coming up in showers, you can use it for something different. But
Looks like that family grew by 2 feet.
What? Oh.
The one that
It grew by 2 feet, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm popping out a new baby. But yeah, you've got some wedding words there in case you want to do that instead. Now, don't lose your little words here, because they are kind of tiny. So I'm going to set them on top of my blue ink so they stand out. So when I printed it, I set up on my acetate. So I used, well, you can do it in a Word document. I've got a different program that I use like for my catalogs and stuff. But if you're just doing it at home, you know, you could set them up like in a Word document. And I set up 6 pictures on an 8.5 by 11. So if this is my 8.5 by 11, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the page before I printed it. Okay, so we did that. We did the weeding. We talked about the photo. We have our card, which this is luminized. So this is a curious stock, and this one we are almost out of, and when it's gone, it's gone. So depending on what's on, I think I still do have some scored cards left, but I might have taken them offline. So if you do like the luminized, you know, and you can't find it online, email me, because when it gets close to off, I usually like take it offline just so I don't run out. So let me find my actual sample so I can have that here. Hang on one second. Mom, where did I put my actual samples?
I don't have them.
I know. I have them somewhere in my...
they're lost.
Well, they're not
They
lost.
jumped around,
They're
Sarah.
just somewhere, but I don't know where. Well, here's this one. Okay, I found it. Okay. So, here we are. Now, I did layer these two, and I double layered my white. And I did that because I needed white behind the baby feet. So instead of just putting it so it fit behind the frame, I actually put it so we could build from the bottom up. So we can double layer this. That's why I have this white behind there. Because if you're like, well, I don't need that extra layer of white. The layer of white is so you can attach your feet behind the congrats and then attach it onto here. So instead of just having a piece of white that you're not going to see, I double layered it so you have a white on white layer. So that's why I did what I did. We are first going to, you might need to trim the photo. So depending on where you're going to place it in the window, it might be off the edge and you might need to trim it just a little bit. Okay. And I know that it also might not fit like on the bottom. You know, you might have a flat edge right there. And I think I did have a flat edge, and that's why I intersected this strip to cover up where my photo stopped. So anyway, so we're going to start there. We're going to trim our photo just a little bit if it's sticking off the edge, which mine is sticking off the edge a little bit. And that depends on how you're going to arrange your picture in the window. So I'm going to take about 1/4 of an inch off my right hand side. And I do have my smooth side up, and the slightly rough side is down. And I'm going to trim about 1/4 of an inch off of there. I'm not going to use my personal paper trimmer because it's going to be hidden by the window anyways. I'm going to trim just a hair off the top because it was close on the top. So I just trimmed a little bit off. Okay, so I've got my baby feet on there. I've got no photo sticking off the top or the sides. I'm just going to pull this dark piece out so you can see better. So now I'm going to turn my congrats over and put tape around my frame. I'm going to put just a touch of glue on the congrats. And my narrow adhesive is being persnickety, so that's why I'm using my wide adhesive. I would much rather be using my narrow adhesive. Okay, so I put adhesive on my frame, and I have I'm going to put just a little bit of glue in just a couple spots. I don't want to put too much because I don't want it squirting out onto the acetate. So just a touch. And it doesn't even have to cover the whole thing, just to hold those letters down. Now I'm going to take my baby feet. I'm just going to set them on top of my white, just so you can see it a little bit better. If you're working on a white surface, you can just put it on your white surface, or you can just put it on your white, just so you can kind of see. So then when you set this down, and don't set it down, because I have tape going all the way around, so I'm just going to kind of set it down to kind of pick it up. I'm not going to set it down and give it a push, because then I'm actually might attach it to my work surface. Okay. Here we go. Sometimes if your dies are a little bit jig-jaggy because they've been used a lot. You can take your fingernail or a scissors just to get any sniblets off the sides. Okay, so again, I am just going to touch this to pick up my photo. I am not going to push the whole thing down. See, my photo is kind of loose in there, but now I can turn it over and give it more of a push. And now this is going to layer on top of here, but I covered up some of my adhesive, so I do need to add a little bit more adhesive where I totally covered it up. So if you do need to put more adhesive on, it will be on the back of your photo and your frame, but don't have it going past the edge of the window. And because I'm using a wider adhesive, mine was hanging off, and I am just rubbing it in so it's not hanging off the edge. But you don't want it to go past the edge of the frame. Okay, so I think I have enough adhesive on there. Now I am just going to layer that on my white. So now it's white on white. It's my white stitched frame on my white layer, which I have the white behind the photo to kind of make that pop. And we had a tiny bit of glue behind our congrats. And now we're going to attach that to our ionized layer, and then that's going to attach to the front of our card. Okay. I really like doing the acetate photo cards. I taught a whole class of them, and if you were on my last comment sold, you guys saw that because I found the bucket and I had done a class of like 10 acetate photo cards. And that's when I was doing in-person classes because it was like eons ago. And so the class was basically stamping on a window overlay and then attaching the photo behind it. Yeah, that was, they just make such fun cards. And I kind of forget about them. Now we're just going to put adhesive on the back of here and then attach that to our ionized that we just attached to our card. And that just kind of makes it pop a little bit. All right. Have that. Now we have another piece of luminized that I'm going to attach below here. So just below the G, and depending on your photo, you might have had a little gap right here. So that's just going to kind of cover that up also. And I think I did cut this so it goes from the inside of the stitching to the inside of the stitching. And that's the same with, this is a little teeny strip of ionized that goes, I did off center it just a little bit, a hair below the middle. Totally up to you. My tape guns do not fit on there. I could use my micro dot adhesive, but since I have my glue pen out, I'm just going to do that. Yeah, I do not have a tape gun that's that narrow. And this just helped so the letters popped out. Now, let me see, get my micro dot adhesive out for a new baby. When I did put this on, I did do the word baby first because then I didn't have to judge where to put it. Unless you want to center it, then you might want to start with the new. It's up to you. But I started with the word baby because I did that first, and then I could space it from the end.
Do you know I write like that sometimes?
You write like what, backwards?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really?
Yeah. Strange. Weird, weirdo, Leah would
Weirdo.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, weirdo.
I don't know that I could do that. Okay.
No, I don't write the word backwards. I start with
you
the last
start-
word.
Okay, I get it now. I
Yeah.
thought you were saying you wrote the word backwards. I'm like, wow.
No, well, sometimes I can do that too, but I haven't done that for a long time. But yeah, I'll start with the end of the sentence.
Mm-hmm. So, but that kind of just made the word a new baby pop, or the words a new baby pop. That's why I put that little strip of ionized there. That kind of matched the layer right here. They were both the same stock. And it wasn't kind of in your face dark. It was just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Looks nice.
I got smart and got my tweezers out.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Although my tweezers aren't the cleanest.
Diane
tweezers in the
Makatura said
shed.
she made at least 10 cards. The ducks, the giraffe, and the apes.
Oh, nice. I'm glad to hear that you used your comment sold stuff already. Nice. That makes me happy. All right. So, just give a press. Make sure you're on a clean spot. You can turn it over and give it a little press. And then you can do your pearls, and then we're done with that one. Yes, I like to hear that you use your stuff. That's good. Especially the pieces and parts, because
Yeah.
sometimes there's not pieces and parts for everything, so you do have to do a little bit on your own.
It's a good thing you have those tweezers because those fingernails don't work like tweezers.
Oh my gosh, these pearls are really small. I like them because they're delicate, but holy schmoly, they are small. Not too many questions today.
No.
Everybody's kind of quiet.
Everybody's working hard.
Okay, so we've got our baby card done. Yay. All right, now, oh, I had my washi tape out here just so I could use it for my stencil, but then I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, now on to our retirement card, and funny, this is actually a window card, because when I was starting to design this card, I started out with a different, smaller stamp, and I was going to do a window card, and then I ended up with this one, and I didn't want to walk back into the shop and get another card, so I just attached
That's
it
when
to
you
the
frame
back
or you
of the
put it on
window
another
card.
card.
Yeah. So if my kids need a retirement card, yes, I'm going to have to like cut this off and attach it to a card. Speaking of that, my mom was telling me that when she had her store that she would do a recycled card class. So she'd have a whole bunch of cards, that right?
Yeah,
That were
right.
older cards, or they had like Velcro on the back, or they were on the back of a window card, and she did it as a class where people could make like 5 cards,
Yeah.
and they'd pick out like the card fronts to use pieces,
Mhm.
so they'd recycle cards that, maybe had something wrong with them or whatever,
Yep.
and make them into another card. So I'm thinking about doing that. Now that only applies to like people that are close enough to come. But yes, I think I'm going to do a recycled card class because I have boxes and boxes of cards,
Gosh. Yeah.
older cards that like have Velcro on the back of them because we used them for
Display purposes.
display
or-
purposes.
yeah.
So I have a ton of those that just have, they're either taped shut or they have Velcro on the back or whatever. So yes, I think I'm going to have a recycled card class. So
Okay, so if we do that, I also did a lunch with it, so I have to
Did you?
think about.
well, we'll do that too.
We'll have a Costco lunch with it.
Okay, perfect. So anyways, this one, you guys don't have a window card. You actually have an A2 card. So you should have that. You should have a layer. Now, let's just talk for a minute about our brown metallic. This little piece, this little piece is a thicker brown metallic than the bigger piece. So we do have a 65 pound, and this was like part of our truckload special quite a while ago. I think they're still on our website, but it's a 65 pound Star Dream. We only had them in a few colors. Right now we have them in just, I think we have them in like 4 colors. But that's what the difference is between the heavyweight and the thinner one. So the heavyweight is our normal Star Dream. The 65 pound we have in like the brown, the black, I think the pink, and a blue. So, but if you just noticed that, I just wanted to let you know. And so you should have the card, the big layer. The smaller one is for behind the words, which I gave you, Do What Brings You Joy or Happy Retirement. In case you don't ever give retirement cards, then, you know, you can make it into this other one, because, yeah.
Oh, Patty, that is such a nice idea. She said they put out 3 baskets of cards made by Tricia Huffman at her funeral, and people loved it.
Yeah, Tricia used to come to our warehouse sales.
Yeah.
She came to like our very first. She's just a great lady.
Oh, well,
So,
that was a great idea.
yeah, that was a
though.
great idea. I'm sure people loved that, and that's a good way to remember Tricia.
Yeah.
So that's
Nice.
awesome. But yeah, she came to our warehouse sales when we had them in the very front of the building. So that was a long time ago.
Oh, the very, very front where
The
we
very
have.
front,
Okay.
when we very first moved here back in, I don't know, early 2000s.
Okay.
So yeah, Tricia's been coming to our stuff for a long time, so
Oh.
she's sadly missed.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to our pieces. We have the medium-sized brown. Then we have another one that fits on there, and then the swing. I'm sure Tricia made great cards too. That's why people loved them, and then they have a way
What
to
a great
remember her.
idea.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So we have those 3 pieces that layer together. This piece is for layering your words. This piece is for the inside. And then you have different people might have, so there was a few different leaf dies. So you either have this medium sized one and a little one, or you have a bigger cluster of them. You don't need all of them. You're just going to kind of use some of them in the corner or down here. So if you have the big one, you can cut them up, and you can put them in more places if you want. They just kind of matched the little leaves that are on the stamp really good. So that's why I used them. Plus they just added a little tiny something something. I was trying to think of a retirement card, because we did the man's golf card last Fun Time Thursday. So I was trying to do one that was more, you know, for a woman, or, you know, could be used for something else. So I didn't want to get too specific. So I just like the swing, because who doesn't like sitting on a swing? Right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So this one is a mostly assembly card. So we're going to first attach this to the inside. But yeah, you can do it as a retirement. You could do it as just do what brings you joy. You could do the retirement on the outside and do what brings you joy on the inside. I like to give you a few choices. Okay, so then we have, oh, I was wrong. Forget it. Hold the phones.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. This one doesn't go on the inside. It actually goes on the front. So I screwed that one up.
Well, did you? Because you just turn it inside out.
Well, yeah, but I have the brown layer behind it.
Oh, yeah, you do.
So hold the phones. Hopefully you didn't put it down, or you were looking at the picture thinking I was off my rocker. Okay. I didn't give you an inside to this one because it was light enough that you could write on the inside. So this piece actually goes on your brown, and then it goes on the front of the card.
Okay.
I must have not attached it very well, because it actually came off way better than I thought it did, or thought it would. Now you can attach this to the front of your card. Whew. I almost
Minor inconvenience in the grand scheme of things.
Right. All right. So now let's layer, and these are all layered together flat, and then they're popped up with foam tape. So let's just layer these 3 pieces together, and then let's do our word layers. And then we'll assemble them. And you can pop up more than I did if you want to. Totally up to you. I'm just putting tape on the back of these. Okay, so we have our light brown, which I think this is one of the lessable colors. It's called bright brown. And then this goes right on here. And we will pop that up with some greens behind them. Let's do our words. Since I have a retirement card, I think I am going to do this one as Do What Brings You Joy. Now, you could do it this way, sideways, if you wanted to. And then you could do the Do What Brings You Joy off of there, you know, off the side right there. So, or you could put that more in the middle and then Do What Brings You Joy, you know, layered up at the top even. You could put that at the bottom and do the Do What Brings You Joy at the top. So, yeah. So you could play around with that if you wanted.
Diana said, yeah, that's for the front.
Do What Brings You Joy?
No,
Oh,
when you were talking about putting
Yeah.
it, you put it on the inside.
I did put it on the inside. Is the sampler pack of the lessable paper contain the new lessable colors? The one online does not yet. Right now there's 39 colors in stock, and I'm expecting 3 more to walk through the door shortly, and then I was going to put a bigger variety together. So the new ones are not in the variety pack yet. Maybe I'll just do the 39 just so you guys can get started with them right away. So yeah, the lessable variety right now, the one that's online as it is, does not have the new colors in it. So let me work on that. And, you know, maybe I'll just get them added because, you know, who knows? They told me that they'll be walking through the door soon, but you never know. So maybe we'll just get those going. So you can layer these how you
Thanks for
want to.
explaining that, Sarah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's 39 colors here. 5 more are coming. 2 of them won't be until August. But I'm happy that they're like, because we thought they were all coming last year, and then they didn't show up, and then they renamed them all, and actually they discontinued some of the ones that we have. So in the total end, I believe it's 40. I mean, there's 5 more coming, which puts it at 44, but of those 44, 4 eventually they stopped making. So we'll run out. So total of 40 eventually.
We're happy with 40.
Yeah, we're super happy with 39 because the basis only had 33 colors at the most, 32 or 33. So the new line of Lessable has more colors than the old basis line. So
what a win that is, huh?
Yeah, I am super happy. I like them. They're actually smoother than the old basis line.
Yes.
The old basis line, had a little bit of grit to it. I think, and it was still an 80-pound stock, but I still think that the Lessable feels a little bit more substantial, and it's got a nice, hard, smooth feel to it. So I do really like the...
You know, that's what's nice about being able to come here. You can touch it.
Yeah.
Or having Sarah in a class explaining how it really feels when you are buying something online, you can't feel that paper.
Right. So this one, I think I'm going to make this way. So yeah. So yeah, you could come to our warehouse sale.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll do a sampler with the Lesabos. And, you know, so you can... So now, since I'm doing this a little bit different, I have to decide how I am going to do my... And I might snip some of these off of here. So yeah, you do what you want to do with these. You can do it like I did my retirement card. Or if you're like, I don't want to do a retirement card, I want to do just a fun swing card. Do what brings you joy. And maybe I'll just go like that. So, okay. So I am going to first put down my first set of greens.
Yeah. I don't think you need that one.
Yeah.
There.
That one I need down there first. And then I am going to put foam tape on the back of here. Yep, that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, my friend Anne, who writes children's books, she was a primary school teacher,
Uh-huh.
would love this card. She would love this card.
Oh,
And
she would?
yep. And she loves to teach kids and adults all about words.
Uh-huh.
And words that we forget about sometimes. Oh, we should have her. I need to get her book.
Okay.
I need one of her books. I think she's got 5 of them out.
Uh-huh. You have an extra
Yeah.
4x3 piece of dark brown.
Did I miss a step?
No, I don't think you missed a step. There's a dark brown. There's a dark brown metallic here, and then the bright brown non-metallic, and then our cream. So if you have 2 of these, it's just a bonus. You got a bonus in your kit. So instead of missing something, you have an extra piece.
Yep.
Yay. Bonus for you. I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, I know what I was going to say. For the crafter classroom, the one that I'm going to do the resist with the glossy, and then you're going to use your own inks. And I'm going to design 4 cards, and we're going to put the scored cards in there. But because your inks might not actually match, you know, the card that we're doing, I was thinking that in that class kit you could order the paper only, but I'm going to give you the option of ordering 1 each of every new Lesabo. So that's a variety with the class kit. Because then if you don't have, like if I'm doing one that has ink to match this and you don't have one, then you could just pick out, you know, a different color to do that same card. So anyways, yes, with the Crafter's Classroom, you're going to have an option to add on a variety pack that has 1 each of all the Lesabo scored cards. Because, yeah, you might not have the exact colors of ink pads that match the paper. But I'm sure you guys all have lots of ink pads.
Yeah.
So you won't, you know, you don't need to buy ink pads just to do the class. So anyways, this one, actually I think I did slide this one in, but I think I'm going to put it just right behind. So I'm going to attach it to the back here. And now, if you're going to attach this with foam tape, you can do, oops, I didn't attach it good enough, or maybe I should use a piece of different tape. But anyways, when you're attaching this, I did double layer it. So this is single layered. My swing is single layered, but then I had to double layer some areas that weren't attached to this. So I've got double foam tape because the swing is foam taped, and then there's one layer of foam tape in here. So areas that aren't intersecting, they had to be double foam taped. So like this one, if I want to put a single layer of foam tape at the bottom where it's intersecting, then I need to put double layers of foam tape where it's not intersecting, if that makes sense. So this is what I'm doing. Along the bottom edge, where it's intersecting, I'll have one layer of foam tape, but then on the top edge and the side, I have to put double layers of foam tape.
Got it.
Got it, okay. Which I now ran out of foam tape, so I'm gonna cut a little bit more. And that's okay, I've got plenty.
Hey, we got close. You got close.
What?
You got close.
Okay. So now my single layer is where it intersects, and my double layers is where it does not intersect. So I need a double layer right there, and I need a double layer right here. And then I need a double layer on the side too. And then we are almost done with class, or our Fun Time Thursday. Okay, so I have the single layer where it's gonna attach on top of the trees, which are already single layered, and then I have double layers on the other sections. All right, so yeah, I made mine just a little bit different than the retirement card. And I could put Happy Retirement on the inside if I wanted to. So anyways, we have our class. Let's pull out our cards again. We have our wedding, and then we have our congrats. So thank you for joining me tonight for our Lifetime Milestone class, and we will see you next week. And hopefully by next week I will have samples for both classes coming up. So have a great night, guys. Bye.